Hello and welcome. You're listening to a quiet journey through time. Tonight's story is not one of battles or empires, not of kings or conquests. No, tonight we're going to explore something far more modest and far more intimate. A story that touches every step you've ever taken. This is the forgotten history of shoe sizing. So, close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath, and let's begin our walk through the centuries, one soft step at a time. Part 1. The Barefoot Beginnings. Long before there were shoes, there were feet. Bare, calloused, hardened by the earth. For most of human history, we walked the world unshod, across soft grasses, through wet riverbeds, over warm stones. Our ancestors' feet adapted to every terrain, to survive, to travel, to dance. No need for soles, no need for size. The earliest footwear we know of dates back over 10,000 years. Discovered in a cave in Oregon, USA, a pair of sandals made from woven sagebrush bark. These humble shoes were made to fit one person. No sizing chart, no measurement system, just fibers twisted and shaped to wrap around a foot. One foot. It's peaceful to think that the first shoes ever made were not about fashion or branding, but simply comfort. Part 2. Early civilizations and the art of the sandal. In ancient Egypt, shoes were status. The rich wore sandals of leather, sometimes gold, while the poor walked barefoot or used reeds. Still, there were no sizes. Shoes were measured by eye. Sometimes, simply traced around a foot on the ground, then cut and tied with care. The Greeks and Romans followed. They wore sandals too, with leather soles and straps across the foot and ankle. But again, no numbers, no sizes. Instead, cobblers worked with lasts. These were foot-shaped molds, made of wood or clay, used to shape shoes. Each last was different, a reflection of one person's foot, and thus, every shoe was its own creation. Imagine a world where your shoes were one of a kind, made by hand, measured by hand, stitched with time and patience. Part 3. The medieval foot and the birth of the last. As the Middle Ages dawned across Europe, shoemaking became a formal trade. Guilds formed, with cobblers passing down their skills, generation after generation. They made shoes for knights, for peasants, for nobles. Still, no standard sizing. Each shoe was made for a foot, and if your foot changed, you needed new shoes. People rarely owned more than one or two begins. But then, in the year 1324, a quiet change. King Edward II of England declared that 1 inch would equal 3 barleycorns laid end to end. And just like that, a humble grain became the foundation of measurement. Barleycorns were used to measure all kinds of things: fabric, land, and eventually, feet. It wasn't yet a full sizing system, but it was a beginning. Part 5. Renaissance, steps, and new shoemakers. By the 16th century, shoes began to take new forms. Heels were introduced, silks and satins entered the scene, and the cobbler's role expanded. Shoes became symmetrical, no left or right, just two identical shapes, molded to neither foot. It wasn't until the late 1700s that shoes were designed for the specific shape of each foot. Can you imagine wearing a shoe that fits neither left nor right, only foot, a strange kind of balance, or perhaps discomfort? Part 6. Industrialization and the problem of mass production. In the 1800s, machines arrived. With them came the age of mass-produced footwear. Suddenly, shoes were being made in factories, identical pairs, made not for one person, but for many. But how do you make shoes for strangers? The answer was sizing, and so manufacturers began using their own internal systems. Some numbered their shoes, 1 to 12, some measured in inches, some used barleycorns, some used fractions. There was no agreement, no standard. A size 8 in Boston might be a size 6 in Philadelphia. Confusing? Yes, but also inevitable. The world was moving faster. People no longer had time for custom shoes. They wanted shelves and boxes and predictability. Part 7. Charles Brannock and the Modern Foot. Then came the Brannock device. In 1925, a quiet man named Charles Brannock, son of a shoe store owner in Syracuse, New York, invented a metal tool to measure the foot. It measured not only length, but also width and arch. For the first time, foot measurement became precise, scientific, repeatable. With this tool, shoes could be chosen with greater confidence. A size became more than a guess. It became a number with meaning. The Brannock device became the industry standard and remains in use to this day. Still metal, still shiny, still, somehow, calming. Part 8. Worldwide inconsistency. And yet, even now, there is no single global standard for shoe sizing. In the United States, sizes are based on barleycorns. In the United Kingdom, the same, though they start counting from a different place. In Europe, they use the Paris point. 1 Paris point equals 2/3 of a centimetre. In Japan, they measure shoes in centimetres directly, a clear, logical approach. Still, the same foot might wear a US size 9, a UK 8, an EU 42, or a Japanese 27. It's all the same, yet completely different. Part 9. Widths, arches, and forgotten fits. Shoe sizing isn't just about length. Feet are complex. Some are narrow, some are wide, some have high arches, others flat. Manufacturers introduced width sizes A, A, B, C, D, E, E, and beyond. But many stores ignored width altogether. A size 9 became a rough estimate, a best guess. So even with systems in place, many shoes still didn't quite fit. And so we return to stuffing, padding, breaking in, just as our ancestors once did. Part 10. The digital footprint. Today, technology is reshaping shoes again. Some companies use 3D scans. Some use AI, or apps that measure your foot using your phone. Custom insoles, digital lasts, smart materials that mold to you. Yet still, most shoes are bought using the same old numbers, because numbers feel safe, even if they're imprecise. Closing reflections, steps through time. So here we are, from sagebrush sandals to barleycorns and Brannocks to digital scans and predictive fits. The journey of shoe sizing is long, quiet, and strangely beautiful. It is a story, not of revolutions, but of refinements, small steps. A shoe is never just a shoe. It's a vessel, a quiet traveler with you on your journey. And your size isn't just a number, it's a footprint of history. So as you drift now, let your mind wander to cobblers in candlelit rooms, to children in hand-me-down shoes, to Charles Brannock and his silver device, to every foot that's ever found its fit. Good night, and sleep well. Still metal, still shiny, still somehow calming.